Hey, what's up? It's Jeff here, and thanks for tuning into this episode. On this episode, I have a quick mission for you. It's something I know you can get done in a minute, 5 minutes, maybe 10 or 15 minutes. But I think that once you hear what this mission is, you're going to want to do it so much, you're going to love it so much that you'll probably want to actually do this for an hour, 2 hours, I don't know, maybe even longer than that. And you may want to actually start implementing this in your weekly or monthly routine. So here's what it is. The mission is to relive a childhood activity. Now, what I'm talking about here is an activity, something that when you look back, when you're a kid, that you really love to do, that you have fond memories of. And at the same time, it's something that you can easily implement or execute, something that you can actually do right now. And maybe it's a game or a video game or activity that you have right now that you can actually do. Maybe you have it at your home. And if you don't, it's something that you can easily go to the store, and it's not going to cost a lot of money. It's not going to take a lot of time going to get this particular activity. Okay. So remember, this is something that you can easily execute or implement right now. Okay. And I think that once you relive this childhood activity, I think you're going to get a blessing. Okay. The blessing I think you're going to get, number one, is joy. And I think in addition to that, I think it's going to allow your mind, your spirit, your heart, your soul to just get to that point, to get to that state to where you realize that, hey, it's okay if I slow down. It's okay if I pause and stop. Just, even if it's 5 minutes, it's okay to do that. And so with that, I'm going to give you maybe 3 to 5 different examples here, just so you can start brainstorming, maybe get some ideas here of what that childhood activity was that you could implement today. So here's an idea. Maybe you love going to the beach as a kid. Maybe you live near the beach now and you love to build sandcastles. And so if that's the case, you could build a sandcastle. Maybe you grew up playing video games. And maybe your son or daughter now has a video game system. Maybe it's, Nintendo, Sony, PlayStation, whatever that is. When I was growing up, it was Atari 2600. Okay. So you can play a video game that you love to play as a kid. Now, I'm going to give you another idea here in terms of video games. I remember that even though I had Atari 2600, there was this one game. It wasn't on the Atari, but it was this handheld video game system. And it was this electronic football game. You may actually know what I'm talking about. But I never had that. But when I would go to a friend of mine's house that had that, I would just play that hour after hour. I love playing that. And then one day I was at the store. I was probably about 15 to 17 years ago. I was at the store and I went down the toy aisle. I don't know why I did that, but I went down the toy aisle and I saw this game. Here's the game. It was this electronic classic football game. And that was the game I saw. It was on sale for $10. And I thought, man, I'm going to get that game. I never had it as a kid. I have the money. I got that game. And that night I must have played it for 3 to 4 hours and still play this game today. Taught my kids how to play it. And every now and then we'll get this game and start playing it. And every time I do that, I kind of relive being a kid. Okay. Now here's some other ideas here. Maybe you grew up with comic books. So what you could do is maybe get out a comic book or your comic book collection and go through that. Maybe I did this as well. Maybe there was a sport that you love to play. Maybe you could go outside and shoot basketball hoops, or maybe you go to the tennis court and you play tennis, or maybe you have a ping pong table. We had a ping pong table and we would always have people coming over there. But maybe you have a ping pong table that's sitting in your garage. It's got a blanket or a sheet over it. You don't ever play it. Now's the time. Take that sheet off the ping pong table, dust it off, and start playing some ping pong. Maybe even just for 5 minutes. And I think that once you do that, any one of these, I think you're going to get a blessing of just reliving that childhood activity. So thanks again for listening to the show. And before you go, please make sure to subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast platform or even on YouTube, and share this episode to someone else you know. Doing so helps us encourage and equip more men and women to live out their faith with passion and purpose. And to help you go that next level in your own personal and professional life, visit my website at jeffjerina.com. When you go there, you're going to find some quick and easy to follow books, courses, and trainings. Thanks again. God bless.